Okay, good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the April 11th, 2024 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here.
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 Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
No, sir.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of April 4th, 2024.
Motion to approve those minutes.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Bid openings, I don't see any. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. Just one quick matter that came in actually this morning. Mr. Repe, Locale River Basin Commission, they are going to do some maintenance work on Kennedy Avenue by the river. And the Hammond and Highland Police Departments have been aware of this, and it should take approximately 3 hours. It's typical cleanup
Okay.
before our Army Corps inspections, which begin at the end of April.
And Mark, they'll have one lane open
Yes,
each
sir.
way? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah. probably.
Motion to approve that request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Is there anything else from department heads or their representatives? Okay, moving on to correspondence. Letter A, correspondence received from Reith Riley requesting a lane shift on Homan Avenue at Sibley Street starting April 10th, 2024 through September 1st, 2024 to begin construction of the new right turn lane submitted for approval.
So we did review the MOT, the maintenance of traffic, and make sure it was coordinated with our Homan Avenue project, and it seems to be working. Actually, Dean gave them approval yesterday, so it seems to be working, and if we need to make any kind of modifications, we can. So I would ask for your approval.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter B, correspondence received from Kelly Kearney requesting the bids that were opened on April 4th, 2024 be awarded the lowest responsible and responsive bidder for the following properties. 1305 171st Street was awarded to J&M Industrial Services for $9,000. 1037 Ames Street was awarded to J&M Industrial Services for $10,200. 7132 Chestnut, the garage, was awarded to RZ Services Incorporated for $4,400. 424 Goslin Street, aka 4504 Toll, was awarded to Acton Contracting LLC for $8,300. 4208 Homan Avenue was awarded to J&M Industrial Services for $11,900. 6349 through 6351 Jefferson Avenue, the rear, was awarded to J&M Industrial Services for $11,900. 4626 Johnson Avenue, the rear, was awarded to Acting Contracting LLC for $6,200. 1170 Sibley Street was awarded to J&M Industrial Services for $10,800. 5661 Soul Avenue was awarded to J&M Industrial Services for $18,300. 944 State Street was awarded to J&M Industrial Services for $12,200. 4636 Toll Avenue, front and garage, was awarded to Acting Contracting LLC for $6,550. And 5426 Wood Avenue, the garage, was awarded to J&M Industrial Services for $3,800. Okay. You got anything you need to say? Okay.
Motion to accept this request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to letter C, correspondence received from resident Nicole Bastardo requesting residential parking signs on the 6700 block of Ridgeland due to the patrons from the Sportsplex parking on the streets. Forward that to engineering, yeah.
I know the administration's been looking at different parking issues, and if you want to send that to us, that's fine.
Yep, I'd like
That's
to
what-
send to engineering.
That's what we're going to do, Mark, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to forward the matter to engineering for follow-up.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, correspondence received from Wendy Adam requesting permission to hold a parade for the Lakeshore Cal Ripken Babe Ruth baseball and softball programs on Friday, April 26, 2024, beginning at 6 p.m. with police and/or fire escort attached parade route. I don't see the parade. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay. Motion to approve the request and forward to PD, FD, and EMA for follow-up.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Number 8, matters from board members. Anything?
No, sir.
Number 9, new business, right-of-way permit received from engineering submitted for approval.
Yes, sir. We have one permit today, AT&T. It's for Casino Center Drive. The water department's okayed it, and actually it's internet service, I believe, going into a water filtration plant, so I would recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
I
Thank
second.
you.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thanks, Mark. Letter B, request for a hearing on late business license submitted for approval.
We'll set that for April 25th. Motion to set that matter for April 25th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, garage sale permits submitted for approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, resolution intergovernmental agreement with Hammond redevelopment regarding payment of funds for the rebuilding of Marble Street submitted for approval.
Yes, this has to do with, as you know, there's a new 400,000 square foot spec building at the end of Marble near State Line. Part of the development agreement requires the city to do some work on Marble Street to rebuild it and also make it wide enough for trucks turning in. This is the payment arrangement with redevelopment, so I would request that the intergovernmental agreement and resolution be approved as presented.
Motion to approve.
I second.
And all in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, demolition hearing for 5629 Calumet Avenue.
Yes, I've been typing away an email actually just now. I received a late email yesterday from Attorney Mike Kovachkov requesting a continuance of this. The statute does allow for continuances upon upon good cause being shown. Mr. Kovachkov's indicated that his client obtained the tax deed in February and they'd like to pay for an inspection. And so I've talked to Mr. Kearney. Now, obviously, Mr. Luter's here, so he knows about that. They've asked for a 30-day date. So if we could reset this demolition hearing for 30 days, and we should be good to go, or at least know which direction we're going on that.
Does May 9th okay? Or you want it later than that?
May 9th is okay.
May 9th is okay? Okay.
Motion to set the matter for status for May 9th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. For letter F, I just want to make it known that Mr. Kalina is going to recuse himself from the vote on this matter. It's a demolition hearing for 7247 through 49 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Good morning.
Good morning.
7247-49 Indianapolis Boulevard. This matter is up for demolition hearing. I just want to set the record and indicate that pursuant to the Indiana Unsafe Building Act, notice was given and that a reasonable effort was made to contact the owners, which are listed as GLB 123 LLC, with an address of 12051 Deanna Street, El Monte, California, 91732. Notice was sent to them at that address, at the address of the property at issue here today. There's also a address of on Tiverton Avenue in Los Angeles, California. The registered agent of the LLC is in Delaware, and that was sent to them. We do have green cards back. Additionally, publication was made in the Northwest Indiana Times, and I've given a copy of that to the board. And finally, there was posting on the property. So I do believe that the board can find that a reasonable effort was made regarding notice. Additionally, just to set the record, this property is at the corner of 173rd and Indianapolis Boulevard. It used to be the old CarX. So it was, it's been vacant and abandoned for some time now. I want to say at least a year. And there's been no contact with the owners from the inspections department. The inspection document has been given to the board. It shows that the gas is pinned off at the meter, electric's off, and both electrical meters have been removed, water's off. The meter's been pulled since October of 22. The inspector of the 5th District, Mr. Hawkins, I'm not sure if Mr. Hawkins is here this morning. Don't see him. Is he? No? I can report that Mr. Hawkins, the 5th District inspector, did have to do a cut and clean, and place a lien on the property in 2023 for failure to keep the property up. This property is vacant and abandoned. It's on a very busy commercial street in the city, and the city would like to see the property demolished if it's not going to be rehabbed or fixed up or have a tenant there, because it's a very important commercial corridor in the city. I do have photos and the inspection report for the board, and I see that this must be one of the owners?
Your Honor, my name is Jay, and I'm here to represent the owner of this house.
Could you give us your full name, sir?
Jay, last name is Zhu, Z-H-U,
Z-H-U?
yes.
Okay.
And how's the first name spelled?
Jay, initial J,
Jay?
yes.
Okay, do we have contact information for you, Mr. Zhu?
Yes, actually, I come from Hawaii.
Okay.
And
Sorry you had to come all the way here from Hawaii. But,
Well, I'm here at the request of owner's friend.
okay,
And,
so just to make the record, usually we don't allow anybody but the owner or somebody that has power of attorney
Right.
or a letter or something from the owner to let them speak. Obviously, this gentleman came all the way from Hawaii. I don't have an objection to him, but I want the board to know that, usually we do not allow, either if they're not an attorney or they're not somebody that has paperwork for the owner to come and speak before the board. Because we do have Zoom available. The owner could get on here and say, yes, I want Mr. Zhu to represent me, he's my agent, but we don't
Thank
have
you.
that. So
Yeah.
today, though, I have no objection to Mr. Zhu stating what he believes is the situation, but I
Well,
know
we should have had this hearing in Hawaii, I think. is
I
what
would love to go to Hawaii instead of him coming here. We could all go
Welcome, you
there.
guys.
Yes, aloha.
Yeah.
So,
Aloha, thank you.
Yes.
that's right.
So, why couldn't the owner be here today?
Well, ever since the pandemic, he was not able to come over. First is the pandemic restriction. The second is the visa issue. So he hasn't been here for quite a while. And so we are here at his request. Actually, Mr. Christy Wen is a good friend of his. She direct fly over from Toronto to here to
So, Mr. Zhu, could I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is GLB 123, that's the owner, correct?
Yes.
The LLC? You are a friend of the owner?
Yes.
And what's the owner's name?
The owner's name.
She can come up up here, ma'am. Yeah.
I mean, we said that she's a good friend, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming it just rolls off her tongue who the owner
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Hard to remember the owner. Okay. So again, this is the issues we have when we don't have the owner present, right? So, but Mr. Zhu is welcome to indicate. And Mr. Zhu, let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Is the LLC, were they the landlord
Yes,
for CarX?
yes.
So in other words,
No, landlord for this property.
correct. And CarX was the last tenant,
Yes,
the car repair shop?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And so,
Originally, the owner does have a local
Property
realtor
manager?
to help them manage. And a few years back, the realtor suddenly quit without helping him to find another local realtor agency to help him manage. So he was not able to come here directly. That's the reason why it was kind of like abandoned. Once the tenant.
what's the intention for the property? What's the owner thinking?
He tried to rehab it and make it more workable so that we can lease it out. Actually, I'm trying to contact the local commercial real estate agent now, trying to help us to manage this property. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any other evidence? I want to make sure you have a full and fair opportunity to present anything you want to the board. Do you have any evidence or witnesses you want to?
有没有那个通信的那个？ Yeah. 对对对。Owner's name, last name is Yin, Y-I-N.
Y-I-N?
Yes.
Okay, Yin,
Yeah.
okay.
First name Cheng Xi, C-H-E-N-G, X-I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, you said he wants to rehab it, but it's been a year and nothing's been done.
Yeah.
Why is that the case? Why hasn't anything happened in a year?
He doesn't even know what's going on here. Nobody, when the tenant abandoned the property, he has no idea. And until quite recently,
I received the letter.
You got the letter.
we got a letter, and then, okay, then we know the situation.
Last month.
Yeah.
And does this person own a lot of property around the country? Or just this place? Is this his only place?
There are a couple of other places, not this only one. But the other one, because Ms. Wen has more direct contact on those properties, so that those are actually in pretty good condition.
How do you spell Miss Wen's last name? Miss Wen?
Yeah.
How do you spell your last name?
W-A-N-G.
W-A-N-G.
A-N-G. Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, did they say they had a property manager and they quit unexpectedly or without knowing or something?
Sounds like something happened, that they lost their property manager and their tenant, but they're looking for a new property manager.
Yeah.
So, given the condition of the property, the fact that it's been vacant for so long, it fits as an unsafe premises under the Unsafe Building Act. My request of the board would to be enter the demolition or affirm the demolition order and stay that order for a period of 60 days to allow again, we're kind of giving an exception here.
Absolutely, yes.
To allow Mr. Xu to speak and Ms. Wen to speak, because we do need the owner present, right? So my request for the city would be to affirm the order of demolition, given the condition of the property, stay that order for 60 days to allow Mr. Yin to get in contact with the city and to pay for an inspection and to get it moving in the right direction, if that's the way where they want to go.
Can I request a little bit longer?
What would be your
Maybe 3
request?
months? Because at least we're not familiar with the situation here, especially as for the permitting process. So for example, if we did get all the funds ready to move ahead, do we have to apply for permit, right?
Right. So if you can leave an email with Mr. Kearney,
Yes.
I'll get you the process, because there's a resolution that this board has passed that sets forth what you need to do, which
Okay.
is pay for an inspection, have the inspection set up. Mr. Luter's here, and
Yeah.
he'll give you a card too. He's the inspector, and then we'll set it up, and he'll go out there and we'll set it. I mean, up to the board. I defer to the board regarding the request for 90.
We do not want to go 90 days.
Okay.
I think 60 is plenty of time to get something moving. So I think we're going to deny that request, sir. You have 60 days. That's
Okay.
plenty of time if you get on it right away or the owner gets on it. And I think that's more than fair.
Pay for the inspection by that time. Leave your email with either Mr. Kearney or Mr. Luter, and I'll send you the copy of the
So
resolution.
that means 60 days, we have to complete
No.
or just start the process?
They'll,
apply.
one of you guys meet with them afterwards? They'll explain the process to you
Okay.
afterwards, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you good?
Request is to affirm the order and stay at 60 days and set the matter over for 60 days.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to affirm the order regarding 7247-49 Indianapolis, and also stay the order and set it for status for June 13th, 2024.
Can we go to the 20th?
You wanna go to
Sure,
20th?
sure.
Okay. I'll amend that to June 20th,
Thank you.
2024.
Okay?
Okay,
And sir, they'll meet with you afterwards to explain the process to you, okay?
okay, great, thank you.
Please leave an email, though. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
And Bill, you're going to make sure you have all their contact information? Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. That should have been a recommendation, not a motion. I recommend.
And I will concur. Okay, moving on to letter G, order to rescind and release order to demolish property located at 917 Kane Street, the garage submitted for approval.
We received a letter from the title company. This is being sold, which is good news. We had placed a lien on property back in, I think, 2017 for the garage. So again, letting the board know the process does work. We're going to get repaid, I think, about $5,000 for the work done in this property. So that's great news. Linda is making sure that the lien release that we're requesting you approve today is contingent upon that payment being made at closing.
Gotcha, thank you.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, number 10, old business, letter A. The correct address for this status is 4350 Sheffield, just so everybody knows.
Morning, Board.
Good morning.
I have spoken to the property manager, Mr. Jezreel Rodriguez, again, and he informed me that He and his architect have done a walkthrough of the property. They are still working on making the plans to be submitted for the approval of the rear apartment. So we're requesting another continuance to 5/2/24.
5/2/24. Okay.
Motion to set this matter for status for 5/2/24.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter B, status for 7235 Calumet Avenue.
Good morning again to the board. Mr. Peterson, of course, represents the current owner, and as you may recall, they're in litigation with the former owner regarding notice of the prohibition of residential at that property. So I guess Mr. Peterson will give us an update on the litigation.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Yes, my name's Jonathan Peterson. I'm the attorney for Norma Herrera. She is the vendee under a land contract to purchase this property. And as I reported at the last hearing, there was a settlement mediation scheduled in front of Judge Shealy, and I'm pleased to report that my client was able to reach a partial settlement of her matter. I think that clears up, at least in our mind, where we're going with this property. So I'm here to ask for a little bit more time, but more specifically, I think at this point my client's now in a position to be able to start addressing these matters affirmatively. If I could get the name of the inspector that we should be working with, my office will coordinate with the inspector, and then we'll start this work. I'll advise my client to start the work. Maybe we could set it over for the 60-day status, and I think in that window of time, we're going to see movement in the direction.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Peterson. So Mr. Farrell would be the inspector on this. He's just given his card to Mr. Peterson. I just want to confirm again, Mr. Peterson, I think this is the case that all residents, tenants have been removed, and it is now vacant as far as that goes.
Yeah, there are no residential tenants in the unit, in the property right now. My observation was that at some point prior to my client's ownership, those units were installed. We understand that that's not a legal use, and I'm going to be working with my client and now Mr. Farrell, and we're going to address that in a way that satisfies the city.
That's great news. The only other thing I was wondering is asking Mr. Peterson, as part of the partial settlement, do you believe your client will ultimately be in control of the property?
Yes, I think that's why.
That's great.
In fact, that's the reason I'm here offering that, is because
Gotcha.
I can report further. The settlement was with Mr. Pipping, the title holder of the property, and the land contract vendor. That settlement, I believe, will result in my client ultimately being the owner of the property.
Okay.
That's great news, yeah.
Do you want to use that?
6/20, if that's good for
6/20?
Mr. Peterson?
What date?
6/20, June 20?
That works. That works on my calendar.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Motion to set the matter for status for June 20th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Mr. Smith, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Letter C, status for 1434 Sherman.
BBI.
All right, last time we were here was January 4th. We did enter a rehab agreement that expires on April 11th, and so I believe that's why we're here, because today's the 11th. So here we are, Mr. Luter.
I'm happy to say that just last week, both the rough and insulation framing inspections passed, their HVAC and electrical rough passed. Right now, we're waiting to get the plumber in, and the project is moving forward.
What's the recommendation, Mr. Luter?
I would say another 90-day rehab agreement.
Okay, we'll have that before the board soon, so Linda will just have to make sure Madeline knows to get a 90-day ready over emailed, and then if we could have a 90-day date.
Okay. The July 11th or July 18th, do you have a preference?
I think Ms. Greenwell did not want to
So the 11th,
set anything on the 18th, so.
The 11th would be good?
look good?
July 11th. Okay.
Motion to set the matter for status for July 11th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Letter D, status for 847 117th.
Okay, we're all familiar with this property.
Yes.
This is the old library.
Yeah.
We were here on 222. Mr. Luter was going to inspect within a week at that time. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Luter
Be able to.
for an update.
The owner, Mr. Sears, is here. I was there February 27th, and unfortunately have to report that there's not much progress since even the first time I was in there years ago. My recommendation, Mr. Sears, was I understand that there is a leaky roof around the chimney, that they were trying to get worked with insurance and finding somebody to deal with the metal roof. So my recommendation was, let's work on areas that aren't being affected by the leak. There's a large building, half of the, we're talking about maybe an 8-foot section that can't be touched. But everything is framed, everything's ready to go. It's a matter of getting insulation in, drywall, and moving forward. So with that said, I do have pictures. Kevin, I will get these to you.
Thank you.
And I'll present these to the board, and then Mr. Sears can tell us where he's at.
I mean, the reason we've been so patient with this property is because it does have some historical significance,
Right.
both architecturally and just culturally with the city. Otherwise, at this pace, we probably would have had it down by now. But we've been patient. I can tell you, however, that the neighbors are not patient, or I shouldn't say that. The neighbors have been extremely patient, but they still want to see a plan. And I think that's only reasonable for folks that live next door or in the area. They've come to Mayor's Night Out. They've just expressed their displeasure with the pace. And so it's a little disappointing to hear Mr. Luter indicate that there hasn't been much progress since a couple of years because, we've had several statuses. I mean, I go through the dates. We've gone 22, 23, now 24. I think that Mr. Sears and I think it's his son-in-law have a lot of, they want to get this done. We really need a plan and be able to stick to it and hit benchmarks and keep it moving. So I'll let Mr. Sears address the board.
Mr. Sears, if you could give us your first name again, Mr. Sears?
Brian Sears.
Thank you.
I met with Mr. Lauer, and we walked through it, and he made his recommendations that I do something, and I've been focusing on trying to get that roof fixed. I've had All Pro Roofing over there, and they were dealing with my insurance company, and my insurance company is reluctant to supply the funds to fix that area of the roof. I'm going to get up on that roof myself, and if I have to tear off that aluminum, that steel roofing around that chimney and replace that wood, I'm going to do it. And my plan right now is to continue to clean up the property, maintain the outside of the property, and start insulating the walls. Now, I'm having a problem with the roof. It's a big, tall apex roof.
Yes.
But there's from the floor to where the roof begins, there's probably 12 foot. And as he said, that's a huge building, and my intention now is to start insulating the lower section and continue to clean, and weather permitting, I'm going to tear that steel off that roof and repair that leaked area.
So, Mr. Sears,
It's almost impossible to get anybody to do any work right now at a reasonable cost.
Is there any thought of you of putting this on the market and letting the market and selling the property? I'm just out of curiosity, because I'm looking back at my notes.
I've thought about it. It would surely be
It's a good housing market right now, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, one of the impediments to selling the property, of course, would be the redevelopment agreement, which would be subject to any purchaser.
What redevelopment agreement is that?
Well,
You mean the rehab agreement that we have with you?
Yeah.
I think, if you were interested in selling it and it was a buyer that was going to, we'd work with that buyer. I don't want you to think that we're, inhibiting a sale to somebody that's going to fix the place up right away and get it and live there, put it on the market and sell it, or whatever the case may be. Because, I have a letter from you guys back on December 8th of 2020, indicating what the plan was. And that's how long this has been going. Spring of 23, electrical rough passed. Spring of 23, the front entry door and $3,000 was paid. Late summer of 23, roof repair. So, I know you have a plan. I'm just curious, if we can't accomplish that plan due to financial or other reasons, is there a potential to transfer the property? And maybe that's something you might need to think about. But, it's your property, so you have to deal with it.
I will consider it. I want to continue to work on it. I'm going to make progress. I'm going to do what I can incrementally to get to that point where it's a residential property, and I'm not prepared to sell it at this time.
Mr. Sears, I would say the board understands that you have good intentions, but everybody has limits. And I think we're getting to that point now, like Mr. Smith just said, this has been going on for a long time. And I know it's a big building, but you have made promises along the way that haven't been fulfilled. And at some point, we have to say enough's enough. And I got to tell you, I'm getting close to that now. And I'm trying to be fair with you as a board, as a member of this board. But we have to have some kind of plan that you can get it done in a certain amount of time. And if you can't, you at least have to consider what Mr. Smith just said.
I will consider it, and I'm going to move forward with insulating and repairing the roof.
Just a reminder, Mr. Sears' son-in-law is a licensed contractor, so he doesn't have to get up there. The permit can be pulled and away they go. Right, Bill? Yeah. So, and I know that his son-in-law's come in and indicated that, you know, he's a little bit of the help behind trying to help his father-in-law get this done. But
So my question to you is, if we were to extend 30, 60, 90 days and significant progress wasn't made, what's the options at that
well,
point?
I mean, you know, this is a demolition hearing, so I mean, at the end of the day, we're under a demolition order. I don't want to see this building knocked down,
Well, none of us do.
but it's kind of like, you know, you hear from other people when we say, oh, this house is being knocked down. Oh, don't knock that house down. And my response is, well, if no one's going to either come forward and answer what we have, we're going to end up with vacant houses all over the city, right? And you have to have a response, and there has to be progress. So I don't know. I mean, I really would think that we should put a 30-day date on this, see what Mr. Sears has going, see what and just, we have to continue to really have a very short leash, I think, on this property, because we need to show progress for the other residents that live in the area and that want to see either progress or see this thing, you know, either.
I agree. That's why I'm saying if we follow through with the demolition, then he would have to make a decision, either let the building be tore down or sell it and make some money off of it.
That's right.
So 30 days, I think, is more than fair. At this point, Mr. Sears, in 30 days, if there's not significant progress, we're going to have to make a decision that I'm sure you're not going to like. So you have to help us with this and start getting some work done, okay?
I will get some work done.
Okay. Yeah.
Set the matter for status for May 9th, 2024.
Thank you.
Could we go to the following week,
Sure.
16th?
16th, sure.
16th?
We'll amend that to May 16th, 2024.
Give you a little extra time.
Yep.
So, okay.
I agree. I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, number 11, rental registration hearings. The first one is 7207 Carolina. Yeah, I'm getting sick of that. It's nuts. I think enough is enough. Yeah, but I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe. Okay. Please.
So 7207 Carolina, this property is a two-unit property that has been owned by the current owners since November of 2021. It was registered in 2022. However, in 2023, it was missed due to the owner's status with the United States military. It would be my recommendation to the board to provide Mr. Lozano a waiver of a late fee due to the circumstances surrounding him missing that and his absence in today's hearing.
Yep.
Motion to waive the late fee for 7207 Carolina.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to letter B, 4607 through 4609 Ash.
Oh, okay.
They have what? Okay.
All right. So 4607 through 09 Ash is listed under the ownership of Mr. Gomez. who also owns the next one on the agenda, but we'll deal with that separately. So they've owned Ash since 2006. They have registered on time previously, and so this is the first time that they have been late for this property address.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you give us your name, please?
My name is Esther Gomez. This is my daughter translated for me.
My dad's in the back, too.
Okay, could you just tell us what happened, why you missed the payment?
So they missed the payment because the rental properties have been, they don't have renters. So they weren't, really sure like what the process was, like if they don't have renters or like how to go about that process. They also left the property in like very bad condition. So they've been like working on like trying to clean up the walls and take any trash out that the renters left and things of that nature.
So when was the last time you had a renter in there?
The last time that they had a renter for that property was 2022 in December. They left.
Okay, so what do we do about this, Nick?
Well, if it was vacant for the entire year of 2023, then, it would fall under the ordinance for vacant property registration. Any time that a property remains vacant for 90 days or longer, they are required to register it, fill out a separate application. If there is a temporary vacancy between tenants, we do have an affidavit that can be filed to account for the time frame from January 1st to April 15th, and then when they have a tenant, they have 30 days to register at the regular rate. But it would appear and seem that this property would qualify for that vacant property registration. So, they can go downstairs and fill out that for 2023 if that is the case.
Is there a charge for that?
Yeah, it's a $300 fee per annually by October 1st of every year.
So, okay, I'm sorry I brought that up now. Can we, I think $5 is much better than $300.
Is there intention to rent it out? Like, do you guys intend to keep it as a rental property?
¿Quieren que siga como rentar?
Es solo una porque la otra vives tú.
They said that
Pero no now, later.
not this specific property because so I just moved from Indianapolis to be here with my family. So I was going to move into this property. So for the 4609.
So, I would agree if you see fit to allow them to register the property as vacant in preparation for their daughter to occupy it. And then if their daughter is going to occupy the property, they can apply for a exemption to the registration with an affidavit, and they would not be required to pay the fee, but that affidavit would have to be submitted annually during her occupancy.
Okay. Are these connected, by the way?
You mean like the upstairs and downstairs?
These two addresses, they're next door to each other?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, Nick, what should we do for the first one, 4607 through 09?
Well, 4607 through 09, that's a single-family home. I would recommend to the board to allow them to register for the regular rate of $5 for 2023.
Waive the late fee?
And then submit an affidavit moving forward.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
Motion to waive the late fee for 4607 through 09 Ash.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to letter C, 4613 through 15 Oak.
Okay. This property has been under the ownership of Mr. Gomez since 2005. Same situation, it's been registered on time each year, with the only exception being of 2023. I'm unsure of the occupancy of that property, if they had a tenant in there for during that year, or, what their plan is moving forward with it.
They did have a tenant in there, but they left in April of 2020,
23?
2022.
2 years ago?
We're in 24 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24.
2 years? Okay, 2 years ago. Okay. And what's your intentions with this property?
I believe they want to fix it up and rent it.
Clean and paint and fix the details.
Because the
Okay.
previous renter was there for long term.
Gotcha.
It's no business for rent. It's terrible.
Okay.
People dirty. don't like when, because donated made for my son, my daughter, because this, I'm old for this.
To be dealing with this kind of stuff?
There's no business.
Okay.
I would just like to remind them that, like, any work that does need to be done on the property, like drywall, plumbing, electrical, anything of that nature, to make sure they use licensed contractors, okay?
Okay.
Cleaning, painting, stuff like that is fine for them to do,
People,
but,
everything is yellow.
yeah, so just make sure any major work
Yeah.
needs to be done with permits and licensed contractors. So I would follow suit with the same recommendation at this point.
Motion
Sounds
to
good.
waive the late fee for this property.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
If you both want to wait till the meeting's over, you can register both of them for $5 each.
Okay,
So if you just want to have a seat and wait till the meeting's over with.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, letter D, 6349 Parish. Thank you.
Mr. Bodnar, looks like we had listed as the owner of the property since 6/20 of 2006. Previously, there is some action that was taken in 2013. The property was sent to Smith Search for collections, and $580 was assessed and paid. There was an appeal filed before the board in 2019 for failing to register for 2019. The board denied the appeal at that time, and $505 was paid. And then for 20, 21, and 22, the property was registered on time. So we are here for 2023 for a single-family home.
Okay, and so when was the last year there was the fee was attached?
2019.
Okay. Mr. Bodnar?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell us what happened?
What happened is I thought I came in here, and I went to the thing, and I said, I can't believe this, I was here. And then they went downstairs and started looking for paperwork, whatever they did, and they couldn't find nothing. So then I went home, started digging through all my paperwork, trying to find a receipt or something. Then I came back the next day, I said I couldn't find nothing. I was here, I don't know. That's all I know.
Okay, well, we've had so normally, we
Yeah.
only extend the courtesy of waiving the late fee once.
Right,
You've had a 3-year run of paying it on time.
yeah.
But what can we do to make sure that you do it every year? Because I can assure you, if you come before us again, we're not waiving it.
I
Something-
wish it was like a bank withdrawal or
Tie
something.
a string around your finger, something, I don't know, but something's got to happen.
Yes, I started, I was real good at it. I can't even believe I thought I was here. I was just bringing up ideas. There's some lady, when I was paying the thing, she had a dog in there, and we were talking about she is getting fined for a dog. And I was like, all this stuff was coming to me. I was like, but, you know.
You have any objection because of the
No.
3-year?
No, and he's paid 2 late fees previously, and hopefully with the new program and system we're running, then it'll clear a lot of this up.
Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Please remember, Mr. Bodnar.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I will.
Okay, letter E, 7024 Ridgeland. Anybody here from 7024 Ridgeland? Okay.
What does that mean for this year?
Yeah.
It's still before the deadline, so you can register both today.
Uh-oh.
Yep, just hang tight, she'll get you paperwork. 7024 Ridgeland, the current owner listed as DAD Properties Portfolio LLC of East Chicago, Indiana. They've been listed as the owner since 2021. It's a single-family home, and it looks like they missed for 2023. Mr. Ransifers submitted the request for the appeal hearing today on behalf of the LLC. So seeing as nobody appears, I would recommend the board deny the appeal of the late fee.
So move, motion to
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter F, 4343 Grover. Good morning. Did you give us your name, sir?
Álvaro Carrillo.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Carrillo is listed as the owner of this property. I believe this one is the one that's a single-family home, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. He's been listed as the owner since 2021, and he's registered the previous years on time. This is the first time late for this property. He also owns the next two addresses on the agenda, just for the board's information.
Okay, sir, could you just tell us why you missed this one?
Can I specifically tell you why? Because the person who came and registered, they registered the other two that it got registered, and for some reason, these three properties didn't get registered. So there's other two properties that they got registered. I don't know. Yes, a total of 5 properties that got registered. It's the next two are going to be apartments.
Okay.
So I don't know why they didn't register the other ones.
Well, we appreciate you always paying on time. As you probably heard, we usually only extend the courtesy of waiving the late fee one time, so just try your best to make sure it's paid in the future, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Motion to waive the late fee.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Moving on to 2963 Birch.
The actual address is
2463?
2463 Birch. This is a 2-unit property, which was purchased by Mr. Carrillo in 2021. He has registered it on time in previous years, and this is the first time late.
Same situation?
Same situation.
Okay.
Motion to waive the late fee.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and letter H, 4232 Dearborn.
Dearborn has been listed under the ownership of Mr. Carrillo since 2017. This is a 2-unit property, and again, it has been registered on time in the previous years. This is the first year late.
Okay.
Motion to waive the late fee.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can, if you want to wait till after the meeting, you can register all of them, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Letter I, 6360 Holman Avenue. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Steve Meeker, Meeker Real Estate. This property was rented for approximately 7 years, and we had an eviction at the property in November of 2022. And in the meantime, Hammond shut the water off without giving us notice. So we were trying to rent the property. Turned out we rented it to a person with a subsidized housing permit, and we had to do some repairs to the house. So in the meantime, for that period of time, the house was not rented, and it had been registered the previous year, and I had several intents. In fact, I had come to here several times to attempt to register the property and was denied because I didn't register it for the next
Year before?
ongoing year. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but we have a track record of registering this every year, and we had intention to pay for last year and this year when we got this tenant finally under lease in November of 2023.
Okay.
So it looks like it's been listed under the same owner since 2012, ACP4 LLC out of California, represented and managed by Meeker Real Estate. It's a single-family home. There was some previous action in 2014. There was a Board of Works decision where they waived the late fee to be paid in 30 days. That decision went unpaid and was sent to Smith-Sursick. So Smith-Sursick's office collected on the years 14 and 15, and then in 2018, it appears there was a Board of Public Works hearing where the late fee was waived for that year as well. We are here today on 2023. It was registered on time since that previous hearing in 2018.
Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
Thank
All
you.
in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That does it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, the meeting is now open to the public. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say?
No, I think you handled this with a lot of aegis today.
Really enjoyed my Aegis.
You did good.
Okay, go ahead.
I second.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.